Hello and welcome to the Crafty Diamond. I am Debbie. Today is my weekly whip and chat, and if you are not familiar with what that is a work in progress. I am working on this really cute painting. I am almost finished with the first row. This is by Annie Reyes and it is called Beautiful, and this is from Ever After Diamond Painting. I am really enjoying this one. I just haven't had time to get to it, and it's because I've been working on my Josephine wall, but we're going to go over that in just a little bit. So if you would like to work on something, feel free to get something out, or you can simply treat this as a podcast. We're just going to talk for a little bit. I'm going to go over some things that I've been up to, as well as my diamond painting life and anything else that comes up. So I'm going to go ahead and rearrange, and then we will get started. You guys, I think that I am ready here. I did have someone in my last video that asked if I could get a little bit closer so they could see some of the symbols, and that's what I am trying to do today. I'm at a weird angle, so I can't guarantee anything, but I'm a little bit closer than I was last week. And part of the problem is the angle that I have my canvas because of this section that I'm on, and then the angle that I am having to sit or to be with the canvas, I'm having a hard time seeing. I have had to go and turn the overhead light on and may have a little bit of a glare today, but our weather has been absolutely horrible. And so because of bad weather, I am not able to see as well as I would like to. It's early in the morning, but it's just dark and dreary. It rained all night, and it is raining again. So I was really hoping that we could have just one day without rain. It's been raining so much here. We did have a few hours over the weekend where it didn't rain. It was still really gloomy. Last night, I woke up around midnight and it was raining really hard. Never did storm, but it was raining really hard. The wind did pick up and the power kept flickering, but we never lost power. And I was surprised that it didn't even reset the clocks, because normally, even if it doesn't go out, we still have the issue with whenever it starts flickering that we have to change the clocks and all that stuff. And we didn't even have to do that. So it wasn't out that long. But when it flickered on the third time, I thought, this is it. We are going to lose power, because that's what usually happens. But we never did. But I guess because our lines are buried, they're underground, I guess that our ground is so saturated that it is just causing havoc. I know it's causing a mess in our yard. And every time we take the dog out, we have to make sure that we have a towel handy to really wipe her paws down. I've also bought some baby wipes that I like to keep at the door, and so I'm having to wipe her paws off. But that way, at least she's not bringing in just a bunch of mud, which is about all our backyard is. One of these days, we're going to be able to focus on the yard and not focus on the inside of the house. But we did work quite a bit on Saturday and Sunday in the house and got more boxes done. Thank goodness. I still have a few more, but it's getting smaller. Our garage is looking better because that was where we just had everything in the garage until we knew where we wanted to put everything. And so that is looking so much better. My husband is happy about that because he didn't want his garage all messy. But we still have, some things to do. He also built me some shelving to put in my craft room, and that has helped a lot because I had quite a bit of craft supplies still in the garage that I really didn't have a place to put. So he was nice enough to go ahead and do that for me. And I'm loving my shelving, so that's definitely helping a lot. One of these days I'll be able to show you my craft room, but right now I'm still not ready for that. We did have Madison's wedding. It was so nice. It was worth all of the 2 years of planning. There were really only one. It wasn't really a hitch or anything. It wasn't a problem. We didn't have any issues. We went to get our hair and nails done the day of the, or not, we went to get our makeup and hair done the day of the wedding. And we had been talking to this lady, and then the week before the wedding, we started getting nervous because Madison was texting or messaging this lady, emailing her, and no response. And we were starting to get worried. I'd already paid for the services, and we were expecting to have our hair and makeup done. Well, we found out right before the wedding, I mean, it's a few days before, that this lady had been in the hospital, and she didn't make much of a deal of it. She just said she's fine. She was in the hospital for a few days, and she is going to be fine to do the service. We set up a time. Maddie told her again, she reiterated how many were coming and what we wanted done. And so the lady said, yes, we're set up. Everything is good. So it was out of town. We didn't know anybody. It was in North Carolina. I'm not sure how Madison found this service or these people, but she had, and she was told it was really good. We didn't know anything about them other than what Madison had researched, and maybe someone had even told her. She did have a coordinator for the wedding who really didn't do much of anything, but maybe the coordinator said this was a good place or whatever. But we had everything ready to go for that, and then we made sure. Madison asked her again, we are on a time crunch. Are you going to be able to do this without any problems? And yes, 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 we're set up. You're going to have plenty of time. We should be done by 1 o'clock. That gives you time to go over into the wedding venue and to get ready. So, everything sounded perfect. In our minds, everything sounded good. Well, then we got there, and we got there like a few minutes late because there was a hiccup on the part of the person that was going to be picking the girls up. And so she was like 15 minutes late when Madison wanted to get to this venue, or to the service, to the salon. And we got to the salon, still had to wait. And then we found out that the lady that was supposed to do the hair and makeup, the one that said everything was fine, even 2 days before the wedding, everything was fine. Everything was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And so whenever we got there, we were told, well, somebody else is going to have to do it. They're not here yet. We had to wait another 15 minutes before they got there. They got, their stuff together. So by then we were already running behind. And the girls said, well, we're really good at this. We work good together, and we will, make up the time, and no worries. Okay, well, there were Madison's 2 bridesmaids and her maid of honor. And Paige, our youngest daughter, was part of the bridal party. She was a bridesmaid. And then, of course, we had Madison, so that made 4. And then we had me, that was 5. We had Madison's stepmother, that's 6. And then we had Madison's mother-in-law, and so that was 7. So there were 7 of us that wanted all the services. So we were rushing. we finally got out of there, and it was close to 1:30, 1:45, more likely 1:45. Then we had to go to the Airbnb where the girls were staying and get their dresses and get everything together. By the time we got to the venue, which was a gorgeous castle, by the time that we got to the venue, it was already 2:15. It was close to 2:30 before we were able to finally start to get ready. Well, we just had to put on our dresses, but that takes time. It takes time for Madison's, because she had a long train, and to have to have bustle everything out and just to get everything ready. So Madison's maid of honor is a wedding planner. So in the car, Madison was getting, really upset. She was starting to panic because we were, running out of time. And so her best friend, who was her maid of honor, she told Madison, she's like, you know what, it's your day. We will start when you are ready. And if the wedding, it doesn't start at exactly 3:00, it's no big deal. They're here to see you get married, and they can wait. And I thought, I like that. I like that idea. And it calmed her down. And so we got there. The wedding didn't start until 3:20. So we were 20 minutes late, but that was fine. No one complained or anything that we know of. And we had the photographer, who was really good. And he took a lot of pictures before the wedding. So we got quite a few pictures too that people took, friends and family took, and they've been sending pictures. I used to be a scrapbooker. I still take a lot of photos. A lot of times I won't ever use them, but I still take a lot of photos. I did not take not one. Nope, I didn't take not one photo at my daughter's wedding. And do I feel guilty? No. Do I feel bad about it? No, because I focused on her. I focused on my youngest daughter. I focused on family. I focused on friends and myself. And I knew somebody's going to take pictures. If not, we have the photographer pictures. And so Paige took several photos, and Madison's mother-in-law took a bunch of photos, and so did other people. So I did get some photos. I am going to put them in here so you guys can also share in the love that we had. And then I did get permission from my daughter and from her husband if it was okay if I posted these, and she said it was fine. She didn't have a problem with it. So I am posting with permission, but it was just so pretty, and she just looked amazing. And I was so proud of her. She was extremely nervous. He was too. I could tell when she got up to the front that she was shaking. She was really nervous. She started crying. I thought, oh no, what's going to happen? And she did really, really well. They had their own vows. They prepared them. They had a book, a vow book, which I thought was really cool. And so that was really sweet. I really enjoyed that. And then before the wedding, my sister was there. And sometimes you just need your sister. It doesn't matter. My sister is younger than me, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes you just need your sister. And so I didn't realize how much that I had missed her, how much that I needed her. And she is just a breath of fresh air. So if you are listening, Cam, I just wanted to let you know that we were just so happy that you were there, and you know how much we love you. We can't wait to see you again. And I just thank her for helping out. She was helping us drive and doing things with the girls, and it was just so much fun. And she was the only family member that was there, other than, of course, my daughter's dad and stepmother was there. And then my best friend was there and her husband. And I was just so thankful that they showed up. That's a lot to ask somebody to drive 6+ hours to go to a wedding. You're only going to be there for a day or two. And that was really special. So we enjoyed seeing them there. And then my family is either really far out that just, it cannot come, it's just too far, or primarily the family that we really keep in touch with, they're older and they can't really travel that much. And so I totally get it. So we're going to, send some pictures to them. And then my ex-husband family, he has a small family as well, and his two sisters did not come. That's another story that I'm just not going to go there. But his two sisters did not come. His mom is in a assisted living. She can't go anywhere. She is pretty much there unless she goes to the doctor. So she couldn't come, and she probably wouldn't have if she could anyway. They were never close grandparents. So I don't think that she would have even came. So it didn't matter. We had family and friends. We had, the family there that was there. We had our special friends were there. And then we had Kyle had, his parents and his brother and a really good friend of his, and we had, a few other people. So, and then some friends of Madison's. So it was just perfect. It was a perfect setting, and I loved the castle feel. That was really, really cool. So I can honestly say my daughter was a princess for a day. And then they talked about our grandbaby and how she is growing and they can't wait, for her to be here. So she was mentions our little nugget is growing, and Madison says that she can't feel her moving around yet. But my sister and I were just kind of touching Madison, and I'm like, oh, I felt a flutter. And I told my sister, I said, feel right here. And so my sister did, and she's like, oh, I feel it too. And Madison's like, I don't feel anything. I think y'all are crazy. But we did. I know we did. Maybe we just thought we did, but either way, it was pretty cool. So I'm like, okay, our baby nugget, she is ready. She is going to show her little self. She's going to start moving around and starting to be sassy. So that's going to be fun. When I do get the professional pictures, I can put some more up. The ones that I am putting up here, those are just, again, from family and friends that took them. But they're even good. I mean, they're really good just using a phone. Nobody had, cameras. They were all using the phones. The photographer was there quite a long time and took a lot of photos of family and of friends and of them. So those, I can't wait until they come in. I think we're going to get all the digitals, is what it sounds like, on maybe a USB, and then we can just give them out to family. I'm not really sure how that they have that set up because I didn't do anything with the photographer. The food was interesting. We did have the castle for 4 hours. So as soon as the wedding was over, they started moving the chairs and everything around for dinner. And for appetizers, I didn't think they would ever get finished with taking all the photos. We waited forever. Once the family was finished and they wanted photos of them just around the castle grounds, they had a moat that they took some pictures, and it was just a beautiful setting. They had geese, and a lot of their flowers were blooming. So that was really nice. The background was gorgeous, and they had some of the candelabras out. And so that was really pretty. So I'm really hoping that the pictures come out, but I I did really well. I thought, I'm not going to get emotional at all. I didn't think I would, but I did. Of course I did. And the bad thing was, I talked to Madison right before we left to go to our seats, and the parents actually walked in before the bridal party, so we had to walk down the aisle too, which was kind of weird, but I hadn't seen that before. But we did that, and that was starting off the wedding. And then Madison had to come from upstairs. But whenever I was talking to her before, after everyone had left, they were, getting ready to go into the service area, the ceremony area, and I was talking to her. Well, then she got emotional. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to get you emotional before you go down the aisle. Of course, that would be me. That would have to do that. But I kind of got a little weepy there. But then I recovered really quick. But then I was fine all during the wedding. And then whenever her dad gave her away, got a little weepy there. He did too. And then I was good during the ceremony, no problems there after that. But then when we got into the reception area, as we were finishing up dinner and they started doing toast, my sister stood up. She did a toast and she talked about my dad and how proud that my dad would be. And that's when I got emotional. Madison got emotional. A couple of other people did. And that was, I thought, just please, let's do something else. And so that's when I really got emotional, because I started thinking about my dad and that how he would have loved the venue. He would have loved the castle, and he would have been just awestruck by how gorgeous that Madison was. So, of course, that got me emotional, got Madison emotional, got my sister emotional, but she held up really well. I was really proud of my sister because she was with them the majority of days and nights, and so I know that she's had a really hard time, and so I was really impressed with her toast. And then others did toast too, but that was the most memorable of the ones that I remember, just because of the fact that it was about my dad. And what was really cool is that, I don't know if people still do this, but you have the something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue. And then, so she had all of that. And then there's also, I don't know if people still do this, but we did. And you put a penny in the bride's shoe before the wedding. And I hope that I am saying this correctly, but my sister asked me if we were going to do the penny, and I said, I hadn't even really thought about it. I said, yeah, I hadn't even mentioned it to Madison, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And so when my sister came, she lives now where my dad and stepmother used to live. She decided to stay there for a little bit instead of staying where she had been staying at her house. And so she just wanted to, be close to them still, and she just wasn't ready, to leave. And my dad still had changed everything on his dresser, that it was the exact same way. She hasn't changed anything since he passed away. When he went to bed, he put all of his change and everything, and put everything on his dresser. It has been there. So she brought a penny for Madison. And so I didn't tell her about it until we had gotten there. And I said, I did tell her we were going to do the penny. She said that was fine. But I didn't tell her it was my dad's. And so I told her when I was going to give it to her, I said, do you want me to do this? Or do you want, Kyle or somebody else? And so she said, no, I want you to. And I said, I want you to know that this is a very special penny. It is from your Happy. And my kids called my dad Happy. And I said, it's from Happy. And I told her, and of course, she got weepy about that. And I said, this is a very special penny, and I hope that you don't lose it. Hope it doesn't fall out of your shoe. And I said, make sure whenever you take your shoes off that you do keep this penny. And so she said that, she would. She was so excited that, it was his. He had touched it. And I said, see, he's here. He is in your heart, but he's also in your shoe. So that was she started laughing about that. And I did take, this sounds kind of weird, we have some of my dad's ashes in a little sachet. And so I took some of his ashes with me. Didn't tell anybody that either. Took some of my dad's ashes, and I had my dad's ashes with me. And I felt even closer to my dad. I thought if he were here, he would be absolutely delighted. He would be so proud of Madison, so proud of Kyle. And then our baby Nugget, he would absolutely love on her. She would be so spoiled, which she will anyway. And I love the fact that I can spoil her, and then I can take her back home, and I can be a grandma and don't have to be a mom in that instance. Not sure how that season of life is going to look for me, but now I feel more comfortable. I mean, I knew they were going to get married, but I just feel more comfortable, and I just feel more relaxed about it. And the funny thing is, and I was thinking about if I was going to mention this or not, but I thought, you know what, you guys are all my friends, and I think it's important. But, there are times where, you have some times in life where you just get just so distraught. You think that nothing is going to work out, and it seems like everything can possibly go wrong or happen. That's how I have felt over the past couple of years. But it seems that with this wedding, it has brought new life, new renewal, and it's also going to bring a new season in our life when we have baby Nugget. And so whenever I was really going through a lot, especially when my dad passed away and then my stepmother was so sick, I would pray about it. Like, please, please give me strength. I miss my dad. I am just really sad. I feel guilty about a lot of things. And I just feel like I wasn't the best daughter. I'd go on in my prayers. And then I would hear that, I've got you. This is just a season. Hang on. I haven't forgotten you. And I would get that all the time. And then once I found out, about Madison with the baby, and then it got closer and closer to the wedding. And so during the wedding, I felt this profound sense of peace. And I wasn't expecting that. I just felt like peace had washed over me. I feel like my family is I feel like we're at peace now. I feel like that with baby Nugget, she is going to be bringing in a whole new season for us. We're going to have renewal. There's life. Even though my dad's not here, there is, there's life. We have to keep going. And then all of a sudden, I heard this. I heard that when I prayed the last time about it, I just, was sitting there thanking God for the wedding and for all of the family that was there, for our new family. And I heard, I told you everything was going to be okay. I've got you. And look at what all you've accomplished. Look at your kids. Look at your husband. Look at your family. There's been a lot of changes, and there's always going to be a lot of changes, but you've got this, and you're a strong woman. And look at this. You are a matriarch of this family, and you've got to really get your crap in gear, basically, and to Show that you're the matriarch of this family. Show this baby how strong that you are. And so I just feel a lot better, which I know that sounds kind of weird. I don't want to get into a lot here. That's kind of deep. I never go deep on, or very seldom, I guess, on any of my whipping chats. But I just wanted you guys to know that I feel more at peace than I ever have. Didn't even tell Madison, haven't told my husband or anything. I just feel good. I feel good about this season of life and that everything is going to be okay, that we're going to move forward. We love our new house. We haven't been happy in the past 3 to 5 years about living situations, even though we had two houses that we purchased and we rented, and we just didn't feel like that was our house. Like, we just felt like imposters in our own home. It just wasn't us. We were living there and we made do. It was a nice, they were both nice houses, but it just wasn't, just didn't feel like home. And this house where we are living now, it's home. It feels really comfy, cozy. It is us. We all love it here. And we just keep doing more and more in this house to make it our home. And yes, so we downsized, and I'm the one that said I really wanted to, and glad that I did. But now it's like, oh, I'm gonna put all this stuff, and that's been a little stressful, but we're getting there. And I think that everything is just going to work out. My sister says that she wants to start coming to Atlanta and visiting, especially when baby Nugget is here. And I think that will be really nice. My sister and I haven't really had time to spend together in a long time, and her presence at the wedding just showed me you need family. You need more than just your tight knit, family unit. You need others in your family unit. And so I definitely want to be more cognizant of that, and to reach out and just to be better, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So that's my plan. And with that, I am still going out of town. I feel like I just cannot get anything done for going out of town, but I wouldn't change anything for the world. Maybe not going out of town as much back to back, but I'm going out of town for reasons. It's not just going on vacation, taking a break from my family or anything like that. That is definitely not the case. But I had just come back from Madison's for her graduation. That was a whirlwind of a trip. Then after that, we had the wedding a week and a half later, or 2 weeks, I guess. Anyway, so I was out of town for that. And then I am leaving on Thursday this week to go to Dallas, Texas for work. And I'm excited and I'm nervous all at the same time. I hope that the planning was done correctly and that there's not going to be any problems. I think that it's really hard on me because I didn't do any planning on this. I am having to rely on on the school's resources, on the planning. We have someone that made the reservations and everything, but we also have a travel agency that we use. And so they took care of all of this. And then I have a contact at the school if I have a problem to get in touch with. Unfortunately, she's going to be on vacation, but her boss is going to be taking over. And I just hope that everything goes off without a hitch. Especially, I have 5 students, and I'm responsible for those students to make sure that they get to where they need to be. So hopefully we're not going to have any problems. But we leave on Thursday. So I'll be leaving my house early on Thursday, be flying out. We don't come back until late on Tuesday. So because of that, I am not sure next week if, I know I'll have a whip and chat, but I'm not sure if it will be I know it's not going to be on Tuesday. I won't get home in time unless I can do something while I am in Dallas. But I'm not going to have my film on or anything like that. So the only thing that I could do, I will have my computer. I can record on my computer and I can diamond paint, but you're only going to see me. You're not going to see my painting. I can do a vlog and do that on Tuesday instead. What I'll probably do is just change it around a little bit. So next week, instead of having my whip and chat on Tuesday, I'll just have it on Thursday instead of Tuesday. And that will give me time to be able to record and then to also do any editing and that kind of thing, and time to get home and relax a little bit. So I'm not really sure, but just wanted to give you a heads up on that so you don't wonder, what's happened to her. I'm hoping that I will have more videos that I can have ready for this week before I leave. But I mean, it has been crazy. I probably should have taken time over the weekend to video, but spent time with my husband and my daughter and just doing things around the house. My husband was wanting to get some things done, and so I wasn't going to say, no, I need to do something else, because he's been so busy with work. And I thought, if he has time now to do these things, then I need to do some stuff with him. And so I did that. And then Paige finally, praise the Lord, she's finally gotten her Social Security. She did not get the amount that she was supposed to get, which I am really upset about that. But it's okay. She did get half of it. I don't think she's going to get any more, but I've got to call them today. But she did get some Social Security money, and she's been needing some things. And we went shopping on Monday, and that was so much fun. We went to a store that I hadn't been to in years, and normally that store is in the mall. Well, when we moved here, they have the store, that same store, it is in a, it's just in a strip mall. And so we went there and I said, we're going to look at this entire store. You have some extra money because of your disability, and I want you to go. We're going to spend some of this money. And she'd only have a certain amount in her account, and it's not much. So I thought, okay, this is what we're going to do. And she got some really cute clothes and a new handbag, and she got some undies and things like that. And so our basket was really full, but I would never shop like that normally. Didn't they had a really good sale. It was on some things, it was buy one get two free, like pajama bottoms, and I love pajama bottoms, so I got me some new pajama bottoms, and then I did get me a dress for going out of town. We have to dress business, and one night we do have the award ceremony. So I bought this really pretty dress for that, and that was on sale. So everything we got was on sale. She got a beautiful robe, but that was fun because we just took our time on Monday and just went through the entire store and just bought a bunch of things. So she is good to go on clothes and undies and that kind of stuff, socks, for a long time. Thank goodness. But that it was so much fun because we are not able to just go and say, okay, you want to buy something? Let's get it. I don't know a lot of people that are able to do that, but it was good. It was her money. She felt good because she had some extra money. I felt good because I didn't have to pay for it, but she was just so happy. And so that's done. And I'm going to pack today. So I will have a little bit of extra time. It is Tuesday. I am hoping that I can get this out around 3 o'clock like I normally do, but we'll see, because since I'm going to be gone, and my husband, I don't want him to have to take her to work. And so I asked if she could come to work on Tuesday instead of Friday, and they said, yes, absolutely, no problem. So, because of that, I am having to go and take her to work. And when I take her to work, I go to the library because there's no point in me going home. If I go home, it is a 45-minute drive. I'll just have to turn right around and come back. So I go to the local library there and I just sit and work, or if I have errands to do, I'll do that too. I thought about going and getting a pedicure because I am in dire need for a pedicure. But I don't think I'm going to have time because class started today. We're already starting summer semester, and I need to get some things done for that. I did get my classes set up the last minute, but I did get my classes set up. I need to also get everything printed out and ready to go for Dallas. I need to send out one more email to my students on some things that have just come up, and then finish packing. And I do want to take a diamond painting. I'm going to have a little bit of time, not a lot. They're going to keep us busy. We are required to agree, I guess is the best word, to volunteer. And they just put us where they want us to go. And so I'm going to be working 8 hours volunteering on Saturday. So I will be busy all afternoon. Mine doesn't start until 12. So I'll be busy all afternoon with that. And I am going to be basically, it's kind of like a host, I guess, for some of the competitions where I will make sure we stay on time. I will also have to be the timekeeper to keep up. Students have X amount of time to present. And so I'll have to keep up with that. I have to make sure that the judges stay on top of things and that we are all set up timely. And then I have to do some reporting. So Saturday, I'm going to be exhausted. And then, because I'll be standing on my feet for 8 hours. And then on Sunday, we have some seminars that I need to go to. But in between the seminars, I should be able to have some extra time. So I am going to take a diamond painting, but I still can't decide which one. I think I'm going to go ahead, and I wanted to take one of the new releases from Diamond Art Studio UK, and that I had unboxed with you guys, but those I think are just going to be too big. I am finishing up one of the Diamond Art Studios anyway, and so I don't know if I want to do another one back to back. I would love to, but I want to give more love to other companies. So I'm not sure. I'm thinking I'm going to take a couple of the art dots that I also unboxed with you guys, and that one I could take a couple of those. I'll take one where where I can kit it up, and then I can take the drills for another one. I don't think I will get one finished and being able to start on another one. Or I could take the one and then I can take a Paint Gym Mini with me, which I may do that too. I don't know, because we've got to take so many dress clothes, and I'm trying to figure out how I can pack minimally and still have the dress clothes that I need plus the jeans, and then I want to take out some workout clothes with me, and my suitcase may be full, so I'm going to go ahead and check that first. We only have one bag that they're paying for, and that's all I really need, but I don't want to take a huge bag either, so I'll figure it out once I pack. So I do want to, hopefully I'll have time that I can have a kit up with you guys, and I need to anyway because I am going to add to my mini whips. I'm going to add one whip in June, and that one is going to be for the June waffle event, and that is hosted by Rebecca with Add More Zest. I just do it for fun, and I'm thinking that I am going to go ahead, even though I said I wasn't. I really want to kit up the little Highland cow and do that one. And it's small, and that's actually the one that Rebecca is going to be doing as part of her whip and waffle. Thought that might be kind of fun to follow along with her. So I may go ahead and do that one. That one is small, and I could get started on it. But I have so many whips right now that I haven't had time. I am not going to have a completion for May. I didn't even have any minis completions for May, so that's kind of sad. But it is what it is. I don't even know at this point if I'm going to do goals for the month of May, where normally, I'll have my my month in review. I don't know if I'm going to do a month in review. I would like to, but there's really nothing. I am going to show you guys my whips in an upcoming video. That will be for May, and I may just go over my goals there, but didn't complete any. So I don't know if there's any point in just regurgitating my goals. And I'm kind of debating, I may just throw out my goals this year and just say, you know what? I am throwing these goals out. And this year, it is what it is. I'm kind of thinking about that. And that's very unusual for me, too. So I don't know what's happening to me, honestly. I don't know if on my birthday, yikes, I hit 60, guys. I am 60 years old. Now I'll probably lose half of my subscribers because they're thinking, oh, she's too old. I don't want to follow her. But I don't think I look like 60. I don't think I don't feel like I'm 60. I don't know how you're really supposed to feel, but I feel healthy other than my osteoporosis and arthritis and all that good stuff. But that is something that I have had since I was born. So it doesn't matter about age. I've always had arthritis. So anyway, I want to change it there somehow. But I don't know. I may just say, you know what? Let's just screw the goals, throw the goals out to the wind, and let's just have fun and get what we can done. Let's have fun with the channel and just let loose and just have a good time and do what I want to do. And if I want to just work on a bunch of whips and see what my progress is, which I'm kind of thinking of doing that. I think that might be kind of fun just to have several more. I have a drill there that doesn't belong there, and I don't know where my tweezers are. I have no nails. But I'm thinking that I will just do the whips that I have. I have a lot of them. I have some really large canvases too, but I'm thinking that I'll do, a couple of sections, 2 to 4 sections, and then move on to the next one, and then do that one and just move on. The only thing that I have that is kind of, I don't know, I don't say nerve-wracking, but it's a challenge, is that I'm working on 2 very, very large canvases. I would love to finish my Josephine Wall this year. It has been slow going. I mean, I know that I've been busy. I hadn't been home really enough to work on it. So I'm hoping that that's it. But it has just been like almost a trudge, just going very, very slow. There's not a lot, and there's confetti, but it's not like horrible confetti on what I've been working on. just where it's ugly confetti and I can't stand it. But and it's turning out really pretty, but I feel like that it's just very, very slow. And I'm hoping to get some of that done. And I haven't even finished 2 full rows yet. I have finished 1.5 rows on that one, and my rows aren't even really that big. So I have a long way to go on Josephine Wall on that one. And then my beast, the higher self, I have done some of that, haven't done a lot of it, and I want to get cranking on that too, but I'm not really sure on that one how I'm going to rotate between Josephine Wall and between that one. And I would love to do my Last Supper for the event for the Masters. But then I thought about for Summer with the Masters, I have some diamond painting minis. It's a museum, and those could work for Summer with the Masters. I may go ahead and do those instead so I can say that I'm participating, and I need to work on those too because I wanted to do one a month for minis. I finally got back on track for April. I have done up to 4 of the kits, so I was good for April, but now I'm behind again because in May I did not even do any. Didn't even work on any. I can't even say, well, I have a good start because I didn't even do any. So May is just like a blur, just a big fat blur of what I did for diamond painting, or anything else for that matter, between work and the wedding and going out of town. And I'm afraid that July is going to be the same way. I'm home in June once I get back from my trip, but then in July, I'm out again. So, but the one good thing about July is that I'm going on a retreat, diamond painting retreat, and so I'll be diamond painting. And so I can get caught up, but there again, I'm probably going to have to start a new whip because I want something smaller. Maybe I can take the cow there instead, but I don't know. So I'm just all confused of what I need to work on, how I need to get things done, and I'm doing it for fun. I'm not saying that I'm stressed or anything, but I want to see some progress because I want to work on something else. I love starting. It's just nothing like starting a new painting. It's just like when you start a new planner, nothing like starting a brand new planner. In the same way I feel with my diamond paintings. It's really exciting starting a new one, but it's also exciting to finish one. So I do need to see some progress because I need to see some finishes, or at least I need to see progress to where I'm moving along on diamond painting instead of just starting them. I don't want to be a serial starter. That is not me. I do want to finish, and I do always finish them, but I don't want to have so many. It's like, okay, how many is just too many? How many can I actually handle? But I think it's fun when you go on a retreat, starting something new. And the ones that I have now, I can take on a retreat. But like this one, for instance, I could, but it's in a large container. And so the container would take up a lot of space in my suitcase. I am flying, so that's an issue. And then my Hannah Lynn, I could take that one, but that one is kitted up in my credenza. Can't take the credenza on the plane, so that one's completely out. The other one that I'm working on, Picasso, that one is kitted up in my tray bricks. Don't think that would be a very good idea to include those on a plane in my luggage that is going to be checked in. So that one's kind of out too. And the other two are huge. Can you just imagine just seeing me taking the beast that is 16 feet on a plane and trying to work on that bad boy on a table at a retreat? Nope, 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 nope. I can't do that. It's not going to happen. It would be kind of cool. It'd be a nice conversation piece. But even if I was driving, I don't think I can take my 16-foot canvas. Although I'd be tempted, to be honest. Or I would be tempted to take my Josephine Wall, but I'm not going to do it. So let me know your thoughts on that. Let me know if you work on multiple canvases. How do you do it by row? And that's how I did before. I did it by row, but then it seemed like I was working on the same painting for a good week because I didn't have time to work on it. And then another thing is coming up, and I was watching Messy Girl Crafts yesterday, and on, I guess it was one of her whips, she was mentioning how she loves her job, but there's some things that's coming down that she's kind of concerned about. And it's kind of funny. She is in Florida. I don't know her. I mean, I just listen to her videos, but she is in Florida, and she was saying that she works in a college. She's not an instructor. She works in advising. And I'm not giving anything away because it's what she says on her video. Again, I've never spoken to her. I don't really know her. And I haven't even really commented on any of her videos. But she is saying that they are changing up the remote and working remotely. And she's going to have to go on campus 3 days instead of 2 days. And I think that we are going to be seeing that come fall. Nothing has been said yet, but there has been some strong, hints about remote working and that kind of thing. And I am just hoping that we don't have to. If we do, I am trying to get transferred to a different campus. We have several campuses around Atlanta area, and there's one that's 10 minutes from my house, but I don't know if they're going to have the space. So if they do, I am going to get it. But I'm having to wait and see what's going to come down with that. And if it's only 10 minutes, I don't mind going, but still, I would prefer to work from home. And yes, my job it's student centered, but I only see students basically when I am in class. I don't see students when I'm not. So I don't have to be there if I'm not in class. I would still have to go to the school where I am now, to the campus, because 1 day a week, because that's where I have classes there. Then I have online real-time classes, and I can do that from any campus that has the technology for that, to where there's multiple cameras in the room and they can see what I am doing. It is just like they are sitting there with me, but it is live. So I can ask questions, they can answer, I can see them, they can see me, kind of thing. They have to go to a particular location, particular campus, and I can see them in the classroom. I am just somewhere else. And I really like doing those. Nobody else really in the business department. There's a couple of people in the business department that have been doing it, not very much. And there's nobody in accounting that is doing this. So I'm the only one, and I love it. I don't know why, but I really enjoy it. And I can do that anywhere. So I'm trying to see if I can move campuses. That would be super nice. Then I wouldn't have to go 3 days a week, because I have my classes loaded up 2 days, so I can work from home 3 days. But I don't know. We'll see if that's going to be a possibility, or if they're going to tell us that we can only work remote X amount. Right now, we work 20 hours remote and we work 20 hours from home, and we can set that 20 hours however we want to. So I work 10-hour days. And so that gives me my 10 4s. And then on Fridays, I work until noon. So I have 4 hours that I don't have to be on campus, basically. So I have it to where one day, if I don't want to work my 10 hours, I don't have to. And sometimes I work longer. Sometimes I work, less on Friday. Sometimes I don't work at all because I don't have to. But I like my schedule and I like how I get to work from home. And if I have to stay up there for 10 hours or 8 hours for 3 days or whatever the case may be, I am not looking forward to it because I spend so much time on the front end getting my classes together that during the semester it's easy. I don't have as much work to do and I will be bored to death. So we'll see what's going to happen. I don't know. But I am just waiting for the gavel to fall and they say, nope, guys, we're changing this. And I really don't have to drive 45 minutes, which really isn't 45 minutes, isn't bad because Atlanta, traffic, horrible. But I really would prefer to be closer to home. Then I can go early, get in early. I don't have to fight the traffic coming or going home. And that's just really what I'm hoping. So we'll see. We'll see how things go. And hopefully in June, I will be on track for my videos back to Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. We'll see. And then July, I may be off track again. After July, it is home sailing for me. I will not have to go out of town anymore. If I do, it will be like for the day and it won't be for an extended time that I know of because Madison and Kyle are moving back to Georgia. Hopefully over the summer. She is now doing the remaining of her classes, which basically is at the hospital. So she thinks she can get those done really quickly and then take I think it's called the NFLEX test. And she's already taken several sample testings and she has passed all of those. So I think that she'll do just fine. And then October, we will just wait on baby Nugget. So my world has been turned upside down and I am fine with it. It's not quiet like it normally is. And I enjoy traveling. I really don't have a problem with that. It's just, I hate to have to leave my husband and my daughter, and then especially my husband will have to help her some, and he doesn't mind. It's just, I prefer to be home. Okay, I have one drill of a color that is just staring me in the face that I completely missed, and that is a V. Let's see. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to try to dip in here and see if I can get, oh, I do have another one too that I missed, an X. So I have a V here, and then I have an X up there that I just finished the X's. I don't know how I missed that one. Let me go ahead and get that one done. And I hope that you guys are enjoying the format of my channel, that, I don't always have a lot of finishes, but I have videos that you guys can listen and work on your own. That one, I cannot get any of these come out, and I only needed one, poured out a bunch of them. Okay, now where did I see it? Right here. You guys are probably screaming, it's right there. Let me know what you guys are working on if you are planning on doing any events in June. And if you have not already, I did include, if you were part of the Josephine Wall event, I have included the winner underneath Facebook for me. So go and look at that. And then I think that Kim is going to be doing hers today, and hers will be on YouTube. That's all that I have for you today, guys. I've gotten quite a bit done here, and we're starting to see the flower So I'm excited about that. I can finally start on the next row. This one's coming together so beautifully. And what I really love about this is that these drills, they're square, but they are just absolutely perfect. They fit in nicely. You don't have to struggle with them. And there has been quite a bit of confetti on here. So on the next section here, it's about the same what I've been working on because we have a lot of the flour still. It's more confetti than I was expecting, but I am fine with it. I do have all this blue down here that I need to do, and I'll get that done today. But would love to know what you guys are doing. If you are not in the Facebook group of the Crafty Diamond, I would love to have you there as well. That way you can show your progress and what you're working on. And I haven't been as active on there as I should be. I do apologize for that. Hopefully going forward, things will start to smooth out, at least for a few weeks anyway. Thanks so much for joining me today. And if you have not subscribed, I would love to have you. Just click on that subscribe button. It is totally free. Also, if you could do me a big favor and click on the like button if you like this video. And until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye.